All right, this is an install for Victory Blitz, Victory 4x4 with a Warren 8S winch. I figured I'd make this video for the 4th gen 4Runner because I hadn't seen too many videos out here explaining an install, because it is a lot different than the video that they provide. They do it on a 5th gen, which the 5th gen, the hood seam is right here. So you've got this whole grill area down below that you've got to work around and then pull off. On the 4th gen, that's part of the hood. So you've got all this open space already. But it kind of leaves to question where all of the bolts are that you gotta mess with. So let's take a look here. Underneath, they say pretty much just pull everything off. If you're looking underneath here, you got a pretty big open space, and then up here you'll see your 3 bolts on the outside and 1 bolt on the inside, and that's for driver and for passenger, and that's the same across everything. So the gist is we're replacing this right at the frame mount right here. So to pull off everything, you have to get this guy. The first thing you'll run into is this bastard right here. This guy is held in with 2 sets of clips. I have found them and pushed them in appropriately. The first one are these clips in front. What you want to do to get them out is lift this guy up slightly and then place a flathead or a knife into the middle there as you're pulling up, and that will set itself, unlock itself, and you'll be able to pull it out. The second set of clippies that you gotta want to get are these guys here. Now, how I got them out is a set of needle nose pliers. If you pull on the sides of them, where those metal clips are, you can push with the needle nose as you're squeezing the metal sides, and it should pop right out. This next, you're gonna have some clippies that are gonna be right here, right here, right here. Mine are all like busted completely, so it'd be worth picking up on Amazon a box of the same size clippies, and then you want to get yourself one of these. Typically they come with them. They're one of these tools. They can kind of help pry out ones that are newer and can be reused. It'll save you from having to buy new clippies sometimes. Once you got this guy off and all of the underneath bolts replaced, I got a smorgasbord here of bolts. You'll take out pretty much every bolt underneath here, and then on the side you've got bolts here, and then in the hole there's a bolt right there. And once you got all of that on both sides, you're gonna grab the fender here. You can pop this out if you need. Just get some leverage on this thing, and you want to give it a gentle pull. Make sure you do this after you have disconnected your wires for the DRLs and your turn signals. So you want to unplug those before your bumper falls off, if possible. Alright, so we got the bumper pulled off. Now we're down to bare bones. We got these guys out as well. I found that twisting these guys are the easiest way to pull them out, and the easiest way for these is you come up from underneath and you push down on this side of the tab. That'll lift up and you'll pull it off. And these guys, you want to take your little plastic thingy remover and try to somehow yank this out, because we gotta get this debris flap pulled out of here so we can yank this part off, because that's what we're bolting to. I have my bumper pulled off here, which is unnecessary. I think you can do this whole process without pulling your bumper off. For this 4th gen 4Runner, the 0305, you're going to make a cut basically all the way up to here and just cut right alongside of that and do that on both sides and you're good to go. The 0609 version, there should be a little slant to it and you'll cut along that slant. That bumper has a little indent that pops out. So this is where it benefits to watch someone else do this first before you do it. When you're making this cut, it's probably useful to you that you'll see these clippies should be here from this piece at the top. That single piece right there provides some support to this bracket right here that connects these two ends. You want to, when you make the cut, leave all of these tabs and cut all the way up to that point, but do not cut this piece right here. Leave it in place, and that will continue to provide some support to this bracket connected to this guy. That'll help out a lot. So then you'll just make your cuts here and here, all along those vertical pieces all the way on both sides. And then when you make your cut down through here, you will cut it all the way up to, but not including that final top bracket piece right there. So we're getting these bolts off. You can get this breaker bar, Harbor Freight, like $5. Everything there's $5. Get that on there. If you need a little extra leverage, which I might, doesn't hurt, you can grab a spanner like that. And there, if you hold it in place, you got a lot of leverage. I can do this one-handed maybe, but that should help you get it out. For getting this winch into your bumper, it's going to be easiest if you have it elevated so that you can access the bolts underneath. What I did is on the side of this workbench, I had it lay sideways so that the two bolts that are like right under here were accessible right on the edge here. So that way most of the weight, it was balanced, and the weight would stay on this side so it wasn't going to fall off, and I could access those two bolts by myself without any help and get them in there no problem. All right, now for the actual install here. After you've made your cut, you got everything up. If you're an idiot like me, but you happen to have a motorcycle jack like this, it's a scissor lift flat. It doesn't go up high enough, but you can do the old glue board for, $5. Old tire for $5. You'll want to use the factory bolts. The flange on them is wider and it's the right thread pitch. Once you get into place, they made enough space when they drilled out those holes that you can fit the bolts in there just fine. It's really easy. Even just being a one-man job, once the threads are in those holes, it's pretty easy. You just thread it on and you're good to go. All right, we've got it on. Those 3 bolts, well, 4 bolts on each side. They're torqued to 48 foot-pounds, what they're supposed to be at. I would recommend not even going on one of these endeavors unless you have yourself one of these, because it really comes in handy. You can hold it up in the space that's up there from the bottom, and it can help you get those bolts, those 3 bolts on the outside screwed in, or nuts, I should say. Without that, it's going to be pretty rough time torquing all of those down. But good luck. We're down to the home stretch here. We put all those on the other side, put those guys in. You see this bracket here. One hole fits. Well, if you use some force, push it. You push this whole side this direction, and you will be able to line those holes up and get that guy in there. That guy is good. And on the other side, and you just oh, it does kind of annoy me. This is a 12 mil. These are all 10 mils OEM. It would have been nice if they had made those 10 mil, but you know, it's kind of a one size fits all thing they made. So I get it. So this guy, this side doesn't have that bracket there, so you got to do some drilling. I'd take a 1/4 inch, just line up your bracket on the bottom side, and then use some of their provided hardware and finish screwing that guy in, and should be good. This is the Victory 4x4 Blitz with a Warren 8S winch. I've got these little flaps to account for that I'm going to pull out the plastic tabs out of the bottom of them and zip tie these flaps to this metal connecting piece right here. And I'll probably do that the same over here. Just zip tie the rest of this all the way up to the battery, and that should be everything.